Welcome back to the Trust No One podcast. Today we are recapping the challenge 41, episode 11. Kind of a typical mid-season episode, and we start off with the remembrance of CT. We've got all the rookie guys, a lot of those who were talking smack.
Yep.
Kind of get together and do a remembrance of CT and, look over the stuff that he left behind. I will say though, Jake, I like Jake here. He was actually friends with CT and liked him. He wasn't one of the ones talking a bunch of smack on him, but I did see the other guys that were kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much respect that actually was.
I know,
But
it
here
was weird. But they
Yeah, it was
did do
weird.
it for Johnny Bananas too, so I'm gonna...
Didn't the girls do it for Johnny Bananas?
Yeah, that was a whole different kind
As
of
like
thing. Yeah,
I
and
think
then
that was like D being like, "Oh, I'll miss your dick." Like,
I'll miss your
but
banana.
whatever. It's all ace, I guess.
And then Gabe kind of gives us a little bit of insight of his social game, saying that Jake and Leo were his boys. So we hadn't really gotten much view
Right.
of who Gabe was working with. But something happens, and this is pretty major foreshadowing and also a jinx. They say in front of Gabe, "Oh, this room is cursed." And then Leo knocks on wood, Jake knocks on wood, and Gabe's like, "No, it's not cursed," and doesn't knock on wood. And I was like, oh.
Right.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, this does not bode well for Jake. I mean, for Gabe. And then after that, we kind of move on to the vet women talking numbers, right? They've got a notebook out. They're writing down potential scenarios, and they kind of come to the conclusion that they've got the power no matter what happens in this next daily. And they were right, except for one scenario, which we might see play out. And we kind of hear Nani being annoyed at Turbo here because Turbo burned votes last episode to not vote for Theo to go in.
Yeah.
And she's right. This is kind of the point in the game where burning votes is dangerous. It only takes a couple of people burning votes before the numbers sway the other way.
Yep.
And
you gotta, if you're gonna make a stance with a group, you gotta come to a consensus. Like, you gotta stick with it, not just I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Me, then don't be on the challenge.
Think, push your mic up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yep. So the rookie girls talk about the one scenario though, and that's the stake of claim, basically saying, well, no one's really going to use this unless they think they're going to be going in. Right. So Sydney says, well, if that's the case, then we shouldn't target Theo and Adrian this time. We should target somebody else so they don't think we're just going after the same person all the time. We should target Anissa and Jake and start switching it up so that nobody uses this nuclear option. They won't know until they're voted in who our target is.
Which is a very Survivor move. Like, thank you, Sydney, for bringing that aspect to this game. Like, bringing a little bit of a blind side to it, if you will.
And while I may not like Sydney and some of the stuff she says about people, you're right. She's a very savvy player when it comes to making moves.
She's a shark.
Yeah, she's a shark. And then we're right off to the challenge, right? And I think this is kind of a fun daily because you're adding in the aspect of, there's some endurance in there, but it's also smarts, how well you guys work as a team, how well you plan out what you're about to do. So the challenge itself was everybody had a big long pole that kind of doubled as a plank, but the pole was loose and could bend. So the team had to, one at a time, race up a hill, grab a large object that had resistance bands surrounding it, and then bring them back, then use those resistance bands to steady their plank. Now, they had to use enough of these to steady it enough to where one of the teammates could walk down to the end of the plank, squat, untie a key or flag, and then walk back.
I wish Cam was here just to tell us the mathematical formula of what was necessary for that to be successful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's pretty much you're going to have to add more than your weight onto those.
Yeah. And how you position it. The engineering of how it is positioned upon the pipe for proper tension.
I was noticing that. I'm glad you brought that up because I was watching how some people position their bands on that pipe. I was like, oh, that's a mistake. You're not doing as much as you could by where you're placing these lines on the pole.
Those higher resistance needed to be on an angle, giving it as much resistance as possible.
Agreed. Yeah. So before the challenge starts, we have Derek K, who's kind of talking about how he doesn't want to have to vote for his friends and how he doesn't want to have to betray people he's worked with for, that he's known for 25 years.
Right.
I get that. I get it. You've known some of these people for a long time. You're very friendly. but this is a game for a lot of money. You've got a family, and I like Derek very much. He's one of my favorites, but
Mhm.
he's got to get over this.
I
He's
think
got the
Dee was
worst
even
social
saying to
game.
him, like,
Well-
bro, this is for money. She literally, I think, said to him, don't come on the challenge if you're not willing to make the sacrifices. Like, it's a game.
Yes, and I think that that's kind of a downfall for the players that have played as long as him is, and especially when they've played very loyal games throughout the years. Derek hasn't
Yeah.
betrayed many people that he's been close with ever. He has made some decisions that benefited himself, but I wouldn't call anything he's done really a betrayal to anyone else.
Mhm.
But like Mitch said, he doesn't have a good strategic social game at all.
He relies
It's
on
really-
his athletics.
yeah, and his elimination prowess.
Mhm.
The few
Which can
seasons
only
that
get
Derek
you so
has,
far.
Yeah,
say that
no,
again?
not many people want to go up against Derek.
Right, but what I'm saying in the sense of, like, not to interrupt you, Brad, I'm sorry, but if you're, I feel like in a game like this where voting out happens, loyalty is only going to get you so far, and going into eliminations is only going to get you so far. He is lucky because he has made a name for himself in the past, but he
And it
is
scares
an
people,
older
yeah.
guy. He is an older person. Not to say that that is going to
Mhm.
really hinder him, but it could be. Like, he's not. Yeah, he's known these people 25 years because he's been doing this for 20 years. When he started, he was 20.
Yeah, he's much
Mhm.
older. But to be fair, some of these physical eliminations that he's won are in recent years. It wasn't too long ago that he was taking on a guy that was twice his size and half his age.
Yeah.
Maybe
Awesome.
not half his age, but
But right
Derek-
now he's got the knee, so I don't
That's the
expect
other
him to
thing.
do that great with the bad knee.
That's the other thing. Like, so he's utilizing his pass, which good for him.
Mhm.
But he does need to make it a little bit more on the social side and not just rely on the loyalty because
Well, he's good at laying low.
yeah, that's true too. But not with a
Staying
partner
out of the
like Dee.
drama.
Not with a partner like Dee. She's right in
Right.
the
That's
middle
the
of it.
difference. That's the difference.
but I will say Derek is better as a follower. He is better when somebody else is telling him what to do.
Yep.
The few times that in previous seasons when he has taken a leadership role, he's rubbed people the wrong way. He's a little too direct. He accidentally offends people.
He's like a construction boss.
Yeah, the times when he's kind of laid back, been the workhorse, those are the times he's won. So I
Mhm.
think he's kind of making the right move here, letting Survivor winner D
Yeah,
point
take the
point
reins
the
of
way
the
forward.
social shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So on to the challenge. Pretty much seemed like all the girls stayed back for the first round and all the guys took off to run.
Mhm.
And Ashley starts riding that pole a little bit. I know this was stupid, but yeah, but she was having some fun, right? There was
That's true.
yeah. And I'm like, come on, Aviv's too mature for the challenge. Like, just let the girl hump a pole for Christ's sake.
Right. Not for nothing. Not for nothing. If I was on the challenge and I was on that position like Ashley, I probably would have also been like, "What's up, guys?" Like
Yeah.
pulling some shit. Like,
I mean, everybody's seen Armageddon with what's his face doing his best Slim Pickens impression.
yeah.
Steve Buscemi doing his best Slim Pickens impression. So
Get off the
the
nuclear
nuclear warhead.
warhead.
I just wanted to feel the power.
And I'm all for having fun on the challenge. I did like how Ashley snapped though, and then you just saw all the other girls be like, "What the fuck?"
And you're like, oh, that's just Ashley.
America, every facial expression I see from a camera shot of her is always like me as the audience member. Like, I relate to her so much. She's watching the show like live in person
Yeah.
and giving the same
Loving
reactions
it.
that I'm giving at home. Yeah. Kills me. So the challenge starts. Johnny tries to be positive with Gabe in her interview right before the start, and he gives her yet again nothing, just an eye roll. She's trying to be like, I'm just, I'm happy you're my partner. I'm trying to be positive, and he just refuses to buy into it or even like try to be cool with her.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's super frustrating to watch as a fan
It's
of
very
the show.
frustrating, especially with what you're saying, the type of player that Janae is. She's not someone to be overlooked. She came into the game late, yes, but she's
She's a
been
winner,
trying.
though.
She's been putting everything she has into every challenge. And to put myself in her shoes, to then have a partner that's the reaction you're getting, well, then I don't feel like they're putting in their all. I think that they're doing this as an individual, not as a teammate. And that's going to be hard for me to work so hard because that sucks.
Yep. And she's
Honestly,
a winner, she's a challenge winner. So
John A should have been the one looking for a new partner. It shouldn't have been Gabe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right off the bat, Aviv makes a mistake when she gets her turn to run and goes for the big barrel that's almost as tall as she is. And Aviv is strong, but there's only so much strength that's going to get you.
Yeah.
Like
But the thing, you got to think about the size. Like you said, it's bigger than her. Like they were standing next to each other. Like
like and that thing, like the things that they had, yes, they were heavy, but they were also awkward.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that was the bitch about that.
right.
If she would have tried to hike that over her shoulders, it would have pancaked her.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people were able to get it up on their shoulders and up on their head, but she had to carry it out in front of her. That must have been killing her back.
And her forearm.
As an old person, I think about that. I'm like, oh my god, Aviv did not sleep well that night.
She's like, why did I do this?
And you can't roll it, right? You cannot roll it. You have to carry it.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearly, because otherwise you'd have rolled that shit down the hill. Yeah.
My God, everyone would have gotten all those barrels, just rolling it down, kicking
them down the hill,
and then running after it. Like
that's exactly what everybody would have been doing.
So Olivia beats the drum back here too, and Will thinks she slowed them down because she did it. I don't know.
Which is annoying.
I think she got back like just as fast as like most people got back. Those big things.
Me too.
Yeah, she was. Listen, I have a lot of respect for Olivia because of her athleticism. She has really good strength and really good endurance. I don't like her gameplay. I do and I don't. I do and I don't. Like, I just think she's a little sly. Olivia.
Olivia is definitely a little sly.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, listen, I don't know. I'm not a very good liar because I don't remember the lie. But I can get
I don't think she's lying.
The way I want you to think. So maybe I'm just like her. I don't know. But I digress. We'll get back to the actual daily.
I'm a fan of Olivia as a competitor, but Olivia will put her game first before other people. And that's something I admire from challengers.
Yep.
This is a game for a lot of money. And when it comes down to it, yeah, look out for the people you're close to in real life. But outside of that, everybody is free game.
Yep.
Like, so when Olivia says, I'm not going to betray Michelle Fitzgerald because we are very close outside of this game. Okay, good. You shouldn't betray somebody you're very close with outside of this game. Olivia has done that before.
And you should stick to that. Yeah. And you should stick to it.
Agreed.
Like, yeah.
On season 39, Olivia was between a rock and a hard place, and she betrayed one of her friends that she was close with outside of the game, and she got a ton of heat for that. And I don't think she'll make that mistake again, but she's also not going to make the mistake of putting people that she's not super close with games before her own.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right, I can respect that.
I respect anybody who plays hard, right? As long as you're not hurting anybody on purpose and trying to like
And her game's evolved over the years too. Like
that's true. You guys said it used to be a lot of drinking and a lot of just drama, and that's what made people go after each other. It was I'm mad at you, so I'm putting you up for elimination because I'm mad at you. Now it's no, I think they can beat me, so I got to get them out of the house.
Yeah, I've seen somebody get body slammed over like fettuccine Alfredo.
How much orange juice is left in the fridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge used to be wild.
I've seen fights over frozen pizzas that got people kicked out of the game. Like, so the challenge has been very ridiculous at points. And don't mess with people's food ever.
Yeah.
Because when they're hangry, they might attack you.
My sandwich? Sorry.
So Nani goes and she's the first one to try the pole, even though Dee and Sydney get back as well. And Will saying something to her. All I hear is just Nani just go, "Will, shut the fuck up." Yes, let him know, Nani. But then she ate it hard. Nani had a mean spill.
Why weren't they wearing helmets?
Right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, up on those poles, you should have helmets on with the water being that shallow.
With that shallow, dude, like
that shallow, they should have been wearing helmets.
All the breath had to come out of her.
Yeah, she bounced in the water.
No, I saw that happen, and I was like,
I had to double take it. I was like, "Oh, Nani, I'm sorry, but I gotta watch that again." Like, but a lot of credit to Nani. She bounced right, but she got right up. She's like, I don't care. D, though, made it right to the flag her first try, made it out there, untied it, and made it back. So while I might not enjoy her that much this season, well done.
She rocked that.
Yeah,
Yep.
she killed it. She got that first place for her and Derek. Nobody else could get it done but her. And what good balance and leg strength, you know?
What? That was after they each went out once, right?
Yeah.
Like, so 4 bands.
But she is tiny, though.
She is
Remember that.
Like, and I get that. Oh, 100%. But they had that done within 6
they were good.
minutes. Like,
Because they positioned their bands right.
Because Derek's
They
smart.
used the resistance.
Derek is smart.
He's like, oh, I do this for a living. I build shit. Duh.
Yeah, so he knew what he was doing here. So it was really a mixture of both of them. It was her athleticism, but it was his brain that got this done.
Yeah.
So bravo, first place for the season, Derek K. ND.
Yep.
I believe it was her second. So bravo to both. And Derek doesn't get a lot of daily wins in his old age, so I was glad to see this one.
Yeah.
But right after they finished, Ashley, Sydney, and Adrian try as well. Adrian falls off, but Ashley and Sydney both make it and get second and third place. Then Olivia and Will finish fourth right behind them, and it was a pretty close first, second, third, fourth. They all made it on 2 tries. Maybe Will was right that Olivia cost them time, but I think had she not done that, they wouldn't have been able to get the right resistance to get her to the end, because Olivia's a little bigger than the other girls that tried it.
Yeah, 100%.
And then Nani and Justin took 5th, Michaela Cedric 6th, Anissa and Jake 7th. Jake was cracking me up on that poll. He was just like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. Or, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Every step he took, killing me. And then we had John A struggling on the poll. And this is the one thing I will agree as a criticism that Gabe gave, was the reason she was struggling was because of her leg strength. And he was right. Like we said last time, John A wasn't expecting to be on this season. She got called in as an alternate last minute, had to tell her kids one day that she was going and then leave the next day. According to cast members, she was working out every day that she was there, and maybe she just hadn't had time to build up the leg strength again yet.
Yeah.
To be where she needed to be. So Gabe sent her back up the mountain because it was her turn to run, and if he was going to try to do the pole, they were going to need more resistance, which was also the right call, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do it. I'm going to have to do it. This isn't going to work. We need to get another set of bands on this thing. I can't go because, I just went. So no.
Yeah. And I'm a giant person, so.
Yeah. So I think this was the right call. And if Jeremy and Aviv had also made this call earlier, I think they could have won and not come in last place, but they didn't. They stayed and kept trying. And
because Aviv is a small person. Had one of them gone up and gotten one more set of bands, she could have done backflips on that pipe back to get the thing. You know what I mean? Like, where Gabe
and where were their bands?
Human, I think their bands were just at the end. They had no counter, because it's about the counter pressure.
I feel like that was her thing, is when she got closer, it would drop more, and that would make her not be able to balance.
Dunk, yep.
Yeah. But they didn't. And then Adrian and Theo finished 8th. America finally gets down the pole, makes it back. I liked her and Leroy's little slow-mo celebration that they did.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Do a montage.
Aviv and Jeremy keep trying it, kind of going back and forth. It seems like Jeremy keeps going, but the pole is way down when he's trying to grab this thing. There's no way he's going to keep his balance, and that gives Gabe enough time to come back. And Gabe does have leg strength and really good balance too. He made it down, grabbed his flag, made it back, pretty much no problem. And that was
I wouldn't say no problem, but
okay, fair.
Yeah, I think he had a few moments, but he is a giant
He banged
man.
it out.
Where Jeremy was a giant man.
Way thinner,
and not as tall. Gabe is.
I don't know. How tall is Jeremy? I feel like he looks pretty tall.
I'd say he's probably 6'3", where I think Gabe is more like.
Still pretty tall. Yeah, but still, yeah.
Gabe is a gigundous form of man.
Oh yeah.
So for him to have enough balance to get down to that pole, pull that up, I'll give that.
Oh
credit
yeah,
to him.
props to him that he did it. Yeah, definitely.
But Jeremy and Aviv seeing elimination for the first time this season.
Yeah, did not expect that from them.
But it was
No,
their
but I'm glad it happened. Sorry, what'd you say, Sean?
it was the perfect elimination challenge for them as a team.
And we'll get to that.
So the social game, we got Theo, Olivia, Anissa all trying to figure out ways that they can not go into this elimination because they know it's going to be one of their three teams. And on the other side of the house, we've got Dee pushing for Anissa, but Michaela saying, no, we should just keep going for Theo and Adrian because Leo is not going to go for this Jake thing. There's no way Leo's going to vote that way.
Right.
So then Michaela says something which I thought was smart at first, but then ended up being way less smart down the road. So she tells everyone in this room, let's not say anything to anybody and let's just see how things play out. Okay, we just won't talk. We won't tell anybody what we're thinking. But doing that created paranoia. And that is the environment that Olivia and Theo were looking for because they knew that Gabe and John A were already on the rocks. Theo already had it in his head that he wanted to try to get Gabe to switch partners. And these guys not telling Gabe or any of these other people anything just made him spin more and more. And I think this was kind of the dual play of the season so far. Yeah. Olivia and Theo here masterminded this. I can't believe how well they played this. So Theo starts planting seeds and hinting like, oh, they're coming at you. You might want to think about switching for somebody, but it's up to you. And Gabe starts going around. He talks to John A. And Theo here did something super sneaky. He planted seeds with John A about Ashley and Leo and then kind of denies it later and pretends like he never said it. Getting Gabe super paranoid, putting John A in a real bad spot because now Gabe thinks she's a liar. And like, well fucking played, Theo. Because he put like this crazy amount of paranoia and now distrust into Gabe, who thinks his partner's now blowing up his game when she's not. John A didn't do anything wrong she heard information and then communicated it with her partner like she should have. But Theo knew she was going to do that. So he was waiting for her to talk to him, waiting to hear something so he could deny it and make her gaslight her into being a crazy person and totally break down their team without actually ever doing anything. He said like barely anything.
Words
well done.
Are very powerful. Well-placed words are very powerful.
But before we get to what actually went down, we get a Halloween party. And I always like to talk about this because this is one of my favorite things they do on the challenge is have some stupid fun during it. You know, let them have parties. Let them do dumb things. Let's see some silly costumes. Michaela had me dying coming down dressed up with Cedric and bunny ears. Right. Like, my name's Hugh. His name's Hefner. It was his idea. It's just 22-year-old antics. It was so like an aunt who's out of patience with her nephew.
Doing this to shut him up. Can we move on to the next, please?
I want to go to sleep at like 10:30 tonight. Let's go. No, I'm talking about her, not me. I don't care what.
Sean's like, I'm trying to go to sleep by 9:30.
Like 9:45.
I love going to sleep at like 10:05. It's my favorite.
So then their event that they get, they ask them like, oh, think of something to do with everybody. So they decide to play a game of questions where they're going to ask each teammate to answer a question, the same question pretty much. And Ashley and Leo get a Freaky Friday question. What would you do if you switch bodies? To which Leo immediately replied, I'm going to go get fucked. I was like, whoa. I was like, he didn't even go with masturbate. He was like, no, I'm getting railed. I'm trying to get that deep.
Put it in me.
And then Ashley, actually, and you guys know how I feel about Ashley, but this was pretty funny.
I like this. This one was good.
I'm gonna go through your phone and text back every girl that you've ever communicated with. I'm sorry for being such an asshole.
Oh,
that was so great.
It was a good burn.
Good burn. Good burn.
That's funny.
John A and Gabe not doing good. He sits her down and basically calls her a liar to her face, and you can just tell she's exasperated at this point. And she's like, "All right, whatever, whatever. You can, she knows he's about to try to get a new partner." Right. And there's just nothing she can do at this point. And really, she has tried everything she can think of to get this guy to be cool. And
I wish she yelled at him because I feel like that's what what's her name did, Naya, and he was cool with her after that. Right, maybe he needs to be yelled at, like put in his fucking place, because
Well, he definitely does, just as a human being. But like John A was trying to take like an adult approach to it. Like,
Right.
listen, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna figure it out. Like every
But
challenge,
clearly he
like
wasn't taking that, so
he
here
didn't
we
give.
are.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. He didn't want to.
Just
He was
disrespectful.
annoyed from the beginning because
Oh yeah, he was super
he felt
disrespectful.
forced into that partnership.
Yeah, it was a mindset thing. He had it in
Yeah.
his mindset that he got screwed back when the partner pick happened, and then he just kept viewing her as this
less.
negative part of his game
A
instead
liability.
as a liability. And then was very quick
Yeah.
to believe rumors, even though she was trying to warn him, like, hey, you can't trust people, even though they are your boys, because people will say things just to get you to do things that are going to protect them.
Mhm.
And it won't be like something that you can really think that they did you dirty, but they can like, and I mean, she was dead right about what was going on the whole time.
Oh yeah.
But then Olivia comes in right before the vote, and this is the
This is
chef's
great.
kiss moment. She waited until he was at his peak paranoia and freaking out, and this vote's about to happen. And then she comes in and tells him to be worried for himself because now other people are telling her to vote for him, which is not true. And that she thinks he should go for Justin because he can beat him, and tells him who to vote for, tells him why that's a good idea and how it'll split up the house, and then they have to go vote. So this is like a survivor move, really. This is like a pre-tribal bomb drop, and
this is
it works.
Rob. This is Boston
So,
Rob.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that the very Boston Rob type of move. I'll agree with that. So Gabe at the vote immediately hops on the opportunity, calls out Justin, says, I want Nani as my partner. And TJ says, okay, you guys are off to the challenge. And they leave right away. And they force everyone else to sit there and wait while the challenge is going on. So not only they were force feeding us drama here because they were like, all right, these guys are pissed. Nani called Gabe a motherfucker multiple times. She was like, you motherfucker. Yeah, that was what it was giving.
Right?
The whole big alliance is pissed because they knew that Gabe wasn't actually the target and that Theo and Adrian was. But remember, they didn't want to tell anybody anything. So
Right.
Yep.
nobody knew who the real target was. So
You
that
shot yourself in the foot.
yeah, that created the environment for all this to happen. Because without that, I don't think Theo and Olivia would have been able to get Gabe to do this. So there's a lot of back and forth here. I think Michaela has some good points. Like, you guys used to have the numbers, so you can't be mad about us having the numbers now. Remember, you had all these people before. Now they're gone, and now we have the numbers, so we're in control. You can't be mad at us for playing our game. And I agree with that. Just because people are on different sides doesn't mean that it doesn't go both ways. But people were burn voting before, and